Hey guys, it's Miss Elliott. I'm at home recording this video for you guys to learn from. So I really hope that you're going to pay attention to me today. So I am going to go through a few review materials for you to learn more about the English ACT. We're going to look at a few websites that I have that I recommend for you to look at if you want to improve your English score, which you should all want to do because it's an easy area to improve in. You just need to learn a few basic tips and your score will automatically improve from learning those tips. Also, we need to just review a few grammatical and rhetorical skills that you probably already know, you're just not paying close enough attention to when you're taking the test. So this should just be a review for you. And I also want to highlight some practice sessions that you can do on your own time to continue practicing these skills, and it has answer keys with them on the ACT website. I'm also going to go over 3 areas for difficulty for you guys in particular. I reviewed your results and I saw that you all struggled with transitions, you struggled with participles, and you struggled with apostrophes. So I took lots of time to make this video helpful for you guys. So please, please, please pay attention. You better pay attention. All right. Let's start with this right here, this website right here. So this is on a website called Schmoop, which I love because it puts everything in realistic terms and it's very easy to understand. They even throw in jokes to make it not so boring. So here it has 4 different strategies for the English test. So first one is what I told you last week, so I'm reviewing this with you, is that you need to get used to doing some guessing. Don't waste time on questions or things that you don't already know, that don't already seem natural to you. If you're stumped by that question, skip it or guess on it. Skip it, leave it blank, come back to it at the end if you have time. But when that 5-minute mark is called, you need to furiously fill in those bubbles to make sure you've answered every single question on the test. Because even just by guessing, you can get a few of those right and add to your score. Okay? There's no penalty for a wrong answer. You can review this at your leisure later. Second thing, read carefully. English passages, you don't have to read and understand and comprehend like you do on the reading section, but you do need to look at the underlined passages, and before and after, you need to think about how those sentences flow together, because sometimes in order to answer, you will need to understand before and after and not just the sentence that's highlighted. Most of the time you can just look at the sentence that's highlighted and understand how to make it better, but sometimes you can't. Third, remember the rules of grammar and writing. If it sounds right, if it looks right, if it sounds right, make sure that you also check it against grammar and writing rules that you know of. Don't just go with what exactly sounds right. Go with the rules that you know to be true. Pretend like you're editing your own writing. Pretend like you're looking for mistakes in your own writing before you turn in an essay to your teacher. That's what this section is like. It's like that real life skill of editing your writing. You're editing the writing of the ACT writers and you're pointing out their errors. That's what this is all about. Finally, don't second guess yourself if you know that you have the right answer, if you think you have the right answer. So I just said don't go just with your gut, but in the end, if you want to get the best score, you have to go with an ease. You can't be anxious about it. You have to go with what you feel is right. All right. Sorry, that was my pizza that was done in the oven. I had to take it out. All right. Now let's look at the second thing I have for you. Close that out. I also have practice sections for you to complete. If you go to this link, you'll see this page here. And at the bottom, you'll see that there are passages, English passages, 5 of them, and each one has 3 different sections to practice with. So use these to your best, and it will even give you the right answers at the end. It will even score it for you. So it's awesome. It's interactive. You can type in your answer and then click answer, and it will correct them for you. It will give you the right answer. All right. So use that if you want more practice. Next, we're going to take a look at good transitional words and phrases. This is not just for the ACT. So when I'm talking about transitions, I don't just mean on the ACT. I mean in your own writing. You want your writing to make sense, especially when you're writing those college application essays or when you're applying for a job. A lot of people discriminate against people who don't use standard English, their best writing in job applications. You don't want to be discriminated against. We want you to get that job. So make sure that you use your best writing, and you do that by editing and using transitional words and phrases. So I have this for you to look at. And this is something you can use in your English class or social studies class or any class where you're required to write. You just find the best transition to use. You plug it into your paper, and it helps it flow better. And finally, the last resource I have, if you want to use punctuation or grammar practice, the OWL Purdue website has great exercises that are also interactive where you can go and pick your weakest skill. We're going to look at your personal weakest skills next week. This week we're looking at class skills. Next week we'll look at your individual ones. But here you want to correct these and then go to answers and check your errors. All right, so those are the 4 resources that I have for you to use on your own time or at your leisure. So let's get to the things that you've already answered on your own. So we have transitions. Transitional devices are like bridges between ideas. Transitional devices are words or phrases that help carry a thought from one sentence to another, one idea to another. Uh-oh, there's my pizza again. So let's take a look at these ACT questions that you practiced today, and we're going to look at how to correct them. Okay, so check your answers while we go through this. So you should have written your answer on the underlined section. Check and make sure you've got something that makes sense. Something similar to what I've got. All right, I'm back. So example 1 for the transitional section. Originally it was, after several extended visits with my new family, I became interested in their sports and activities. As a result, my visits with them would have been long and less interesting. So something's wrong here with the bridge between the 2 ideas. If you became interested, then they're not going to be long and less interesting anymore. So you need to put a better transitional phrase like this one here. Without this newly developed connection, my visits would have been long and less interesting. So here you've developed a better transitional phrase, so you link these 2 sentences together. Example 2. Akeisha and Raul are my best friends, although they spend numerous hours at my house. So it looks like if you were to keep this the same, there's something wrong here with the bridge between the 2 ideas. So here are the 2 ideas. They're my best friends, and they spend numerous hours at my house. That doesn't make sense if you say although. The 2 ideas are connected. So you need to add a transitional phrase like, therefore, they spend numerous hours at my house, because it's like, okay, they're my best friends, therefore they spend numerous hours at my house. And example 3, you need a better transitional phrase here.